I didn't know you win 3 million from there.
He has a cute golden retriever.
Oh,
But why
doggies!
did my mum suddenly decide to gift me an old dog?
We love
Ends up she
doggies.
and Josh found a special dog for me. The thing is, Tori is trained to give warning about allergic attacks in advance.
Really?
Imagine that. Before that, I had
That's so
no idea
clever.
that dogs were capable of such things. I googled it. The dog really could smell changes in the blood and warn me of an oncoming allergic
Dogs are
reaction so
amazing.
that I can take action in advance and avoid one. But such dogs cost a crazy amount of money. I was embarrassed to be in front of my mum, but she said she had been saving money for a long time and is happy that these savings will help me. It was so great to hang out with my friends after sitting at home and being sad. I had a special set of medicines I needed to take in case
thanks to the
Tori
doggy.
threw his For being apart, Tori became everyone's favourite.
I even love
until
Tori.
a misfortune occurred.
Thumbs up
That
if you love
day,
Tori.
Josh took a walk in the park with him, not far from our house, while I was doing homework. He was gone for a long time.
Oh,
When he
yeah.
came back, he was covered in bruises and blood. And without Tori, he said that he was attacked by 3 men and beaten up. They kidnapped Tori and drove away in a minivan. Of course, the dog was very expensive, but who could have kidnapped him? No one knew how expensive he was.
Does that make
we
sense?
started searching. We told the police and put up signs. I put information up about Tori online, but he wasn't found anywhere. I cried and couldn't calm down. Josh started often
Tori.
disappearing during the evenings. I thought he
I
would be
blame him.
ashamed that he lost Tori. I was so wrong. What I found out put me in a state of shock. I decided to talk with Josh. I came up to the bedroom door and accidentally overheard his phone call. I heard him say, "I will give you all the money back. I already gave you the dog. He is worth..." Don't you tell me that I'm crazy. Don't you say that I'm losing my mind. I'm in love with half my debt. Which means Josh was the one who stole my Tori. I barely stopped myself from screaming. I couldn't believe it. What if there was a good reason for it?
She
I
could die
needed
without
to start
Tori.
following Josh right away. I couldn't leave the house and asked my brother to find out where Josh goes to in the evenings. Ends up he was going to a bar in the center of the city where he played poker for money. It was a popular place where a bunch
He's
of
in debt.
urban criminals, pimps, and gamers met up. So we found out Josh was one of them. When we told Mum everything,
evil.
she yelled at Josh. Of course he didn't admit anything, but Mum believed us and called the police. He was released quite quickly, as we had no evidence
about
other than
Tori?
my witness statement. Josh forever disappeared from our lives.
Good.
My Tori was never found.
No.
Mum promised to sell her car in order to at least be able to buy me a regular dog. But I don't want anyone other than Tori. I still hope someone will find him, as they will surely try to sell him. Maybe one of you will see a dog
day.
that looks similar to him, and you could write a comment letting me know.
Hopefully, guys, she finds Tori. But is there anything worse than being allergic to air? Imagine being allergic to everything.
Hi, my name is Alicia. I am 19 years old, and I have a very rare disease. Severe combined immunodeficiency. In
That
my body,
sounds
there is a critically
bad.
small number of B and T lymphocytes, which are responsible for protecting me against viruses and bacteria. Every microscopic creature that can't even be seen bears a mortal danger for me.
She's literally
Which
allergic
means
to
that if I
anything.
leave the house, I will immediately get sick.
She can't
and
even
most
see what
likely
she's
die.
allergic to.
This is a congenital genetic disease associated with a single gene mutation. Such
So
a
she's
disease
really
affects 1
unlucky.
in every 100,000 children.
Told you.
And many don't live beyond 2 years of age.
Wow.
So I was lucky, but now I'm locked up like a princess in a tower.
Oh no. At least she's
All
alive.
my clothes undergo complete sterilization.
Wow.
You can't even open windows in the house. Everything that surrounds me is more sterile than in a hospital.
Nothing.
When I was very young,
go near
I
her.
thought that all children lived the same way, without leaving home, and that only adults could go outside. It was a wonderful time when I didn't feel inadequate. My parents took turns staying with me at home, and we played all day, built fortresses, read
Good
books
fun, to be
with
fair, as a
beautiful
kid.
pictures, and made up our own stories. Then I began to notice that outside the window, other children were playing on the street, running after each other, communicating.
Oh no, she
I asked my
realizes.
parents why I couldn't go out to them, and they said that I was very tender, like a greenhouse flower, and the street was very dangerous for me. Every day, I understood more and more
It would
that
suck
I was
seeing your
different.
friends playing.
Not like that.
You can't go
but
outside.
I was losing something very important. Then all the children from our street went to school. They left in the mornings.
Huh. A video editor for all creators. What you doing there? Who are you? I'm future you. Also,
In beautiful jackets, with book bags and smiles,
have they got school
while my
clothes
mum
on?
took up my studies and I stayed where I was. By the age of 12,
Wow, she lived for
I was
ages.
doing well in my
She's doing
classes
good.
at school, from which I received lectures and assignments on the internet, and made me decide I was much worse off in life. At this point, I decided that I was definitely a mistake of nature, a ghost,
No.
worthy of a normal life. It was painfully difficult for me to watch in films in which my peers talked, fell in love, travelled,
Why
and
did they
how
put, like,
right
a
outside
suit
the
on
window
her?
of my room, the
When she would go
children from
outside?
the neighbouring streets accompanied each other home, holding hands, kissing for the first time. To be in their place,
Oh,
I
poor
was
her.
ready to give anything, but I couldn't. I tried to make my life more interesting. I began to draw. I corresponded on the forums. I read, but the thought did not leave me that this was just a pitiful substitute for real life.
At least you got the internet.
Adolescence was
Not
really
as good as
hard
real life,
for me.
though.
For days, I just stared at the ceiling, every corner of my room, every little crack in the wall. I knew by heart. It was the only world available to me. I could even predict what shape the shadow of every little thing in the room would be when the lights came on. But then one time, I saw an unusual shadow from a vase on the wall and imagined that it was a brave raccoon who saved a fairy
Raccoon!
kingdom. Immediately,
That's
I
awesome.
automatically turned on the computer and printed a couple of sentences. It was fantastic, because from that moment, the brave raccoon began to exist, and then the story flowed by itself, as if the raccoon was living its life, and I became the translator of its life. I started writing
writing a
story after
story.
story, and in these stories, I lived a different, amazing life. I scoured oceans, flew into space, and
Pirate
created
space?
whole universes.
Wow.
Now my house has become for me not an imprisonment, but a nest from which I fly to all corners of the world
That's so
in
cool.
my
What?
fantasies. I found the business of my life.
Yes.
Now I am 19 years old, and I have never been on the street. But, you know, my life is wonderful. I only needed to learn to notice it. One of my books for children has already been published,
Is it doing well?
and today I signed a contract for the second one. I am
Nice.
not limited in the possibilities of my imagination, and I can earn from my hobby. I have a wonderful family that supports me in everything, and I enjoy my life every minute. From the
Yay.
outside, my life may seem like a torment and misery. In part, it is. But the only way out, even in such a hopeless situation,
Say hello to the network of the year. With 99% network coverage, only Sky Mobile rolls over your spare data for up to 3 years. Search Sky Mobile.
I've got Daniel's secret crush's phone number. Today I'm gonna call her and invite her over to the safe house and surprise my best
Can't
friend
meet my life.
with his secret crush. See, Daniel's
Oh my
crush.
god.
OMG,
I
is
literally
this
can't
Chad
mute
Wild
my
Clay?
Yes, how are you?
No way, I'm the biggest fan.
Wow, that's great. You know what? We should surprise
Ew.
Daniel by having you come over to the safe house
Huh?
today.
I'll drop everything. I'll be on my way right now.
Why don't you stay on the line? I'm gonna surprise him.
Okay, let's do it.
Daniel! I got a present for you, Daniel.
Surprise!
Hey, why'd you close it? Daniel!
Daniel! Hi!
Hey, you. You look dashing.
We thought maybe it would be a good idea if I come to meet you. What?
Yeah. Like today? Hey, I don't know if today's a good time, Bae. I think...
Chad said it's okay. I'm on my way right now.
See you here in a moment. Chad, what the heck, dude? I don't know what to do when she comes in. Do I go for a handshake, a hug, a kiss even?
Not during these times, Daniel. No.
We're gonna show you all the dating hacks coming right up. Number one, Daniel, you have to know the girl's name. I met her that one day, and it's been 4 days since, and I never got her name, and now it's the point where it's a little bit weird if I ask, right?
You're just gonna call her Bae?
That's cute. Well, how am I supposed to ask her name without embarrassing myself? When she comes over, you'll introduce her to your friend. Then she's kind of forced to be like, my name is Faye, or whatever her name is. That's smart.
Faye is so 2020 anyways. It's all about Boo Thang now.
Hey, Boo Thang. Okay.
Yeah, say that. Daniel doesn't even know her name. We should just quit. Quit, Daniel. You don't care about us.
She cares a lot.
How can you care about someone if you don't know their name?
Regina, this
You
girl
know nothing about her.
is special to me. Did you see the chemistry in our eyeballs?
I personally think that Daniel's first impression should be strongest when she's actually here. To do so, Daniel needs to prove his toughness to showcase to her.
This sounds like date hack number 2.
It sure is.
Would you just come over here? I've noticed that you've been, really frustrated lately.
Well, I just don't understand why Daniel is so in love with this girl he's never even met. When there's, it just doesn't make any sense. The comments are telling me one thing, and then his
Maybe you should just tell him. You need to really spell it out and say it. I have been saying, Chad, bring me on a date. For how long now? Months.
months, and it's taken him months.
Months. Even got a box.